All right, it says I'm live. I'm running a minute behind here. So let me make sure everything's up and running. All right, good. Excellent. All right, I'm not expecting a lot of people here today because I didn't send out notifications for the afternoon stream. Derp. But if you've made it, great. You're going to get to see something towards the end. All right, so the purpose of the afternoon stream was to ask questions. It gives you like, oh, hey, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Kerr here, and this is actually the first time you've been at a stream, I think. I might be mistaken. The purpose of the afternoon stream is to ask questions. In the morning, I just sort of rant, and you guys get to see the chat. And hopefully in the intervening hours, you sit there and say, gee, I really wish I thought to ask that question. Because I've been there and I've done that. All right? I'm not judging here. Damn. Sorry, guys. I'm still having trouble with my Bluetooth. So please ask questions. That's pretty much the only point. Yeah, Joe. Most people miss it completely. Most people miss the morning stream completely because most people are at work at that time of the day. When I started it, we were still in the lockdown status, which means you guys saw me while I had COVID. I'm just saying. That's how I handled it. You didn't, you probably, well, maybe some of you noticed, but most of you didn't. Okay, that's an unusual question. Joe is asking, okay, what does your YouTube name mean? First of all, it's pronounced Dataslav or Dataslav. And either way, it's Volstead backwards. Volstead was the enabling act for prohibition. And I literally just took Volstead and wrote it backwards to get Dataslav. I'm not picky which way you pronounce it. And then Mandcarry is literally the old channel name, Mandatory Carry. I changed it because the words mandatory carry is a poison pill with a lot of people, and I understand why. So I started by changing it to Dataslav to make it a little less unpalatable. But then everybody was like, who is that and what is that? And so I put Mandcarry on the end. I see there Sam and Burnaby. And so, yeah. And it's still mandatory carry. Other mandatory things that certain people want right now, I will fight against to the last man in the last round. And if you stick a needle in me that I didn't ask for, if you stick anything in me that I didn't ask for, you better make sure I don't get up. I sleep with brass knuckles on. So where do you think the rest of my mind is? Okay, so I'm going to calm down a little bit. Well, nothing's cooking right now, Bernie. Samuel says he's just going to listen in, which a lot of people do that as well. And yes, I kind of pronounce it like it's a Russian word. I have been since long before what's going on with Russia right now started. Okay, so this morning I was talking about having goggles, right, for your get home bag, and how these work goggles, you need to get a strap, shoulder strap, the kind of straps you use to hold glasses on your bodies when they fall off, or they will fall off, and then tighten it up in the back, and motorcycle glasses that I have in here and how they're a little bit better. They hold on to your face. And it was driving me absolutely crazy. Last night when I made the premiere, um, I was just too lazy to go through my get home bag and dig up my folding glasses. This morning, I was like, yeah, I should probably get those and show them to everybody so that they have some idea what they'd be looking for. Here's a hint. I found them at a truck stop. Well, I found them first at a truck stop. So I tore the bag apart just before the stream, and where are they? What the hell? What did I do with them? Okay, so the stream is over. I didn't find them in time, and I can't go crazy looking for them. I just happened to go through my car carry bag. Yes, I have a car carry bag as well. And right there was the other case. What the hell is this doing in here? It should be in the other bag. So I opened it up and I realized I've also got my masks in there. This one says something very interesting that you cannot say on YouTube, and is very much a political statement about how I was a plasma donor for about a year, and then told because I didn't have the jab that I had to continue to wear a mask, even though everybody around me who did have a jab did not have to wear a mask. Now, I'm going to say this the way it really is. Boss came in, he told us what the new rule was, and then he said, and I'm not going to enforce it. Okay, great. I still got the new mask. I still put the words on it. And I wore it around for the first day, and, well, a couple of my coworkers did not appreciate my language. And I'm okay with that. I really am, because when I told them what was going on with that, they all seemed to understand, and the boss didn't like it. He told me to stop wearing the mask at work, and that was pretty much the end of it. All right, so here is the folding goggles. It's bent at a weird angle here. I've tested these. These will protect your eyes against most flying objects. I'm under the impression that it'll protect you against a rock moving at up to 2 miles an hour. That's a whole lot slower than a bullet, a whole lot lighter than a bullet, but it will protect you from rocks moving at up to 2 miles an hour. The foam on the inside's harder than the motorcycle glasses, which means it might hold off a liquid chemical longer, give you some time to get a block or so away, maybe wipe some of the shit off your face. I'm just saying. One thing these do not do is travel around in your pockets. That's a smoker's cough, people, not a COVID cough. I was carrying a pair of these around with me one day. I was actually back in California hanging out with Papa Carey, and I had a pair in my pocket, and when I took them out, they were destroyed. Yeah, one of the hinges broke. That sucked. Okay. The company that produces these swears up one side and down the other. They don't produce any with clear lenses, and they're right. These are slightly tinted. But even from here, you can see the bulkhead. Let me see the bulkhead behind me. Kind of see my face a little bit. Right. They produce a lens that is clear enough. And I've tested this. You can wear it at night in a full moon. On a clear night with a full moon, you can wear this and still see up to 100 feet away. They are that clear. Are they perfect? No. They're a whole lot better than nothing. So, and they weren't that expensive. If these were destroyed, I could replace them. I really, really wish I knew the SKU or the model number or something. I would actually put that in the description as an example being, and let you make some decisions on your own. Not promoting them, but I am saying they work. All right. Carry them around in this hard zip-up case. Now, you can't read the name on it, so I'm not going to bother covering that up. I got these at Sportsman's Warehouse. That's a hint. It had a little net on the inside. I think it was just on one side. Yeah, just this side. I cut the net out and they work perfectly. Also, I didn't realize this when I picked it up. I thought it was just another zip-up hard side case. The company that produces these on their website describes it as glasses case. Oh, well, okay then. Glasses case they are. And I can carry the daytime, the nighttime, and a pair of masks in there to get me through the worst of my problems. Actually, when I was in Reading, this was about 6 or 8 months ago, so around there. I remember it was summertime. Papa Carey wanted to go into one particular grocery store. You know what? I won't say the name. If you're familiar with Reading, California, it's over by Harbor Freight, because we'd just been at Harbor Freight about 2 minutes earlier so I could pick up my gloves. The green ones. Now, Dad needs something from this grocery store, so we go across the street. And as I'm about to walk in, the guy inside says, "You have to have a mask." I didn't even have a mask with me, so I had to go sit out in the car and wait for Dad to finish up. After that, I started carrying this one, but some people say that this is not a real mask. More real than anything you've been giving me, but whatever. So now I have the masks. I carried those around in my car carry bag, and I forgot that I had moved my folding goggles into my car carry bag. The difference between a car carry bag and a get home bag is almost semantic. A car carry bag, you should not, in theory, need enough to get home overnight. You would not need a blanket. What do you need a blanket in your car carry bag for? Unless you live in Oregon or Washington State or somewhere like that, someplace where it does snow overnight and you get stuck in that snow. And it happened, Wyoming? Where that big traffic jam that lasted 48 hours and led to a bread truck getting raided with the company's permission, led to a bread truck getting raided. Okay. So, with the bakery's permission, I guess I should say. So, yeah. It should be such a rare event that having a blanket in your car carry bag is of no particular use. Oh, yes, please do hit the like button, guys. I don't mention that. And yet, here's Joe reminding me that a car carry bag can save your life. So, the exception that tests the rule. Very, very much. It's going to go back into the car carry bag and it'll stay there. But the blanket is not going in the car carry bag. It does not get cold enough here, even in the worst of winter, to justify having a blanket. It gets cold enough here in the worst of winter to justify having a heavy coat. Okay, ask some questions. Excuse me, guys. This morning I was talking about lying. Never fucking lie to me. First of all, I always know when people are lying to me. I don't know how I know this. So, like some sort of, one of my friends described it as spidey sense. He described it derisively, and he's not wrong. But it's this thing, and every time somebody lies to me, I know it. I don't always call you out on it, but I always know. Now, here is somebody lying to me, and I know it, and I don't know what the lie is. So, and Papa Carey gets on my case about this from time to time. Maybe I should explain what a lie is. You think everybody would know it? No, not really. A lie is any statement or material omission of statement that is either incomplete or just factually incorrect, where you know it is incorrect. Okay. Few flags on the play. First of all, if you believe what you're saying is true, it's not a lie. It is never a lie. No matter how wrong you are, if you believe what you're saying is true, it's not a lie. If you've been told your entire life that 2 + 2 = 5, and me saying, what? No, it isn't. It's 4, and this is the first time after 35 years, 45 years, almost 46 years on this earth that you've heard somebody say, no, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, it's not a lie. You're wrong. You've been wrong for 5 years, 45 years, whatever, but it's not a lie. It cannot be a lie. If you believe what you're saying is true, it can become a lie if, after being told the correct information, you continue to defend the false information. Right? You can turn a mistake into a lie. What was the other big one? You have to know it's incorrect, and it has to actually be incorrect information. Again, flag on the play. So I'm in first grade. Yes, once upon a time, Manager Carey was about yay tall. Right? My instructor, and I will refer to her as Mrs. B because, well, anyway, Mrs. B asks us, what's the first day of the week? And I said, Monday. All right. 99% of the English-speaking world, the day starts on Sunday. For those of you that know Carrie behind the curtain, gotten behind the curtain, you know that I have a huge chunk of Hispanic influence in my life. No, I'm not Hispanic, but I have a lot of Hispanic influence in my life. I had, up until that moment, always been told that Sunday was the last day of the week because in Hispanic culture, it is. But in English culture, Sunday is the first day of the week, Monday is second. So I answered honestly that Monday was the first day of the week. Of course, that information is incorrect. And I accepted the mistake. I could have taken that mistake to a lie, but me being a first grader, and here's an adult telling me differently, okay. I made a mistake. Now I'm seeing people who are making very, very serious mistakes and then standing by them as if God himself had come down from heaven and told them, no, this is true. No, this is not true. All right. This thing that you're telling us, it is not true. And you're going to fight for it. And one person in particular I have in mind, and yes, I'm talking about, oh, happy St. Patrick's Day, people. I didn't wear green today. One person in particular I have in mind is defending Russia's invasion of Ukraine using every single really quite worthless excuse he can come up with, that he can conjure up out of thin air. I mean, some of this is really like, what? I've been taking him to, I took him to task. We aren't on speaking terms anymore. This was Ukraine was not that gold. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, it was a whole bale of straw, but anyway. But yeah, I was trying to. No, that's not true. And it really does wrap up in the fact that Ukraine was LGBT friendly and Russia is not. All right, there it is. That's the truth. This guy hates homosexuals. He's homophobic in a way that and I'm an admitted homophobe. And he's homophobic in a way I could never get my brain to. And that's it. That's the truth. And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly okay with severing a friendship over this and the other issues. Because I have to stick to the truth. Most of y'all don't know this because you don't go through the old videos, and I'm talking some of them, what, 2015, 16, 2016, I think, when I went on, I think, a 5-minute rant, and I mean angry, expletive, full on carry F-bombs and everything. This is also before I had the YouTube channel, so it may or may not be on YouTube now. About moms demand blood money, grifting off of the Pulse nightclub shooting. Yeah. That particular day was the second year, I believe, anniversary of the Pulse nightclub. And I had just read this email from Moms Demand Blood Money. Give us money so that we can fight systemic racism? Homophobia, excuse me. Oh, I really snapped. I couldn't. I want any one of you to tell me what gun control laws saved anybody that day. Because I can tell you, people who are huge homophobes compared to me. All right, I'm gay compared to Chick-fil-A. Oh, or Chick-fil-A's founder, anyway. They stay closed on Sundays. That's company policy, right? There was a Chick-fil-A right down the street from Pulse nightclub. This happened on Saturday night. The manager walked in. Apparently Sunday morning. There's some dispute about what time he unlocked the doors. He fired up the grills and ran the place himself for about a half an hour until people could come in. And they fed literally anybody that walked through the door. No charge. The local police and fire departments, when they found out nobody was being charged, passed the boot, passed the hat, and said, if you got anything, you better pay up. Yeah, okay, fine. And I'm sure most of them did. It took 6 months for that store to recover all of the money that they had lost by being A, opened on Sunday, which meant overtime, B, not charging people during this crisis because they were too busy trying to feed people who were already in some pretty bad shape, right? You don't beat a man when he's down. I know some of the people did pay. Before you say it, I'll get to that in a minute. You don't beat a man when he's already down. And I know some people did pay. I know some people did pay because apparently there was a whole lot of cash only transactions that day. The manager submitted his report with his resignation. Hey, I opened the store on Sunday. That's a violation of company policy. You can fire me. I get it. Or you can't fire me because I already resigned. My understanding is this piece of paper worked its way up to Dan Cathy's desk personally, where he in turn read it and approved the decision that had been made by everybody below him. Resignation not accepted. The man got to keep his job. All right. When openly homophobic people are throwing their doors open and serving people that they know damn well are there because of a massacre at a gay bar, that's got to tell you something. And, oh, geez, just before the pandemic, me and Papa Carey went down to Sacramento because that was the closest Chick-fil-A at the time, and got some deliciously bigoted chicken. But it was a Saturday. Was it a Saturday? No, because I was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the time. It must have been a Wednesday. Okay, that's right, because I would come in on Tuesday, Wednesday. Part of the reason I picked Thursday for the live stream. That's right. Now that my job status has changed and I don't work Saturday, Sunday, but I'm also not going to change the schedule. And we went out and we got some deliciously bigoted chicken on a Saturday. Yes, guys, I do read the chat. And sometimes I love your sarcasm. Sometimes I hate it, but usually I love it. Don't lie to me. All right. If you made a mistake, just own it. Just say it. Okay. Oh, fuck. I didn't know that. Yeah, well. This individual that I am alluding to, the homophobe, his real issue is he hates gays so much that he's willing to tolerate civilian massacres for the gays. Okay. That's great. Little bit of Kerry history. Y'all know I was a Coast Guardsman. I joined the Coast Guard because I wanted to go to Bosnia, because that's where the civilian massacres were occurring. If Bosnians had been massacring Serbians, I would have wanted to go to Serbia. That's just the way it is. I'm too old and too out of shape, and I smoke way too much to go to uh, uh, Ukraine now. That's not a realistic option for me anymore. I would just be a liability. I would just get people hurt now. Speaking of which, if I were still in my 20s, Jesus, what would I be doing right now? I know that there's a couple of battalions worth of guys from the US, Canada, and the UK. They actually set up a base there and then started getting shelled. And there's some claims and counterclaims about what was happening. I don't know what the truth there is. And I'm pretty sure that people are telling you what happened are only telling you the part of the story that they either they know or they want to talk about. And that's the way it is. I can fix almost anything if I know the truth. For those of you that caught the morning stream, because me and my partner told the sheriff sergeant the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and I walked up as my lieutenant's telling the sergeant what he did and saying things that, objectively speaking, the district attorney should probably have been looking at us for potential criminal charges. We're telling the sergeant the truth. All right. So the sergeant was able to write the report he wanted to write, the way he wanted to write it. And as a result, we're not the ones that ended up in Sacramento County Jail. Right? We're not the ones that ended up in possibly in Folsom Prison. Dumbass did, all by himself. And he did that to himself. Because we told the truth. Never fucking lie to me. I cannot emphasize this enough. If my former friend had just been honest and said, you know what, you're right, I hate gays that much, might have been able to work with it. He couldn't even be that honest with me. All right, I am not ignoring you guys, but I am checking something. Because I know there was something else that came up this morning that I really, really did want to talk about. A question that came up at some point. I'm hoping that if I just take a look. Oh, that's the wrong one. The subject, at the description, I can, it'll jog my memory. Oh, yes. Okay, great. This is a live stream, so I can't actually do that here anyway. Washington State has just passed a magazine limit The idea is that it'll make people safe. From what exactly? I refer to 10 round magazines, for rifles at least, as concealment mags. You know why? Because I sat here in a live stream. It was one of the ones where I had the Kel sitting here and the sweatshirt on. This was about a month ago. I had the 10 round mag on my AR. I had the stock off, took it completely off, put the strap over my whole body, put the sweatshirt on, and sat there the whole time. You couldn't even tell that I had it. Even I'm like, I'm looking at myself in the in the screen and realizing I can't even see it myself, and I can feel it. Oh, now to be fair, I also have a fold up grip, which is actually a pretty common thing. But you know what? I could have done without that too. All I have to do is take a standard fixed grip, grind it down to, say, 2 fingers. Oh, one, maybe. Just enough to get my middle finger onto it, my index finger onto the trigger, and then I can just let the other two hang back. That would have been an awfully well concealed rifle, wouldn't it? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a businessman who's done exactly all these crazy fucking things they say can't be done, or at least help somebody else do it. Um, my old partner Brent used to oh, excuse me, used to make AR-15 conversions. He did it with a class 7, I think it was, license for destruction testing for the gun companies. He he knew about things before they came out, before they even went public, because A, he'd keep his mouth shut. I still don't know half of the shit he did there. And B, um, because he would just tell them exactly what is. He would, and he would usually insult them in the process, because some poor engineer worked on this for 6, 8, 12 months, and here he is. He's just totally ripped it apart. If I had known then what I knew later on, I wouldn't have bothered with a bump stock destruction test. I would have turned to Brent and said, "Hey, can I see the video? Can I get the video?" Because he had destruction tested the same type, but by a different company. And the one that he destruction tested lasted twice as long as mine did. On the other hand, he never put that one onto a belt. We did put mine onto a belt. So I'm just saying there is kind of a difference there. By the way, mine lasted 1,000 rounds before it. What I think happened is friction caused the stock to heat up, and the heating tweaked the stock half of the bump stock, caused it to jam into place. If I hadn't have run it as hard as I did, it might still be useful. Might still be usable now. I admit, I just beat this thing to death. Anyway, where was I going with this? I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. Okay. 10 round magazines for rifles are just concealment mags. That's the only purpose. is to make the gun so that you can conceal it underneath a sweatshirt with bare minimum effort. That's actually why Dataslav bans 10-round mags except under specific circumstances. For maintenance and repair purposes, testing purposes. No, I don't even think testing is actually there. And in a match where the match rules require a 10-round mag. You can't walk around town with a 10-round mag in your gun, in your rifle at least, because that would actually be illegal. Because I recognize what it really is. Now I'm going to go a little bit further. This bag here. I was able to fit 5 100-round Surefire mags. Well, no. I was able to fit 2 100-round Surefire mags and 2 wood cutouts that were exactly the same size and shape into this bag. That's 500 rounds, right? I was able to fit 50 10-round mags into it. And yes, I had to stack them carefully. I had to actually sit there and think about how to put them in. I hadn't completely filled the bag. You're sitting there thinking, oh, well, it's 500 rounds either way. What's the difference? Well, first of all, with the Surefires in there, I could have still fit quite a few 10-round mags. A couple dozen easily. I just couldn't fit any more Surefires because they wouldn't jam in there, right? Just the size and shape, the bag doesn't accommodate anything more. But I could still put some more 10-round mags in. I stopped at 50 10-round mags because that's all I had. I figured the bag was only about 2/3, maybe even as little as just over half full. Tell me again how these 10-round mags makes you safer. Swapping mags, if you practice for 5 minutes, it's not that hard at all. There's actually a video. Admittedly, this was a police officer. Okay, so he has a little bit more experience with guns than an average shooter, mass shooter. But he was just swapping them out so fast that he was actually getting the 10 rounds through faster than the 20 rounds. He got more shots off in the same amount of time with the 10-round mags than he did the 20-round mags. I don't exactly know how he did that, but it was very impressive. He had at least 100 rounds off. Use small words, not because I don't understand, because I want you to understand. And I'm talking about you, YouTube, in Moms Demand Blood Money. I want you to understand the words that you're about to use. How does this magazine ban save anybody's life? How does it help anybody at all? All you did was give actual terrorists a huge new weapon by telling them you can only have a 10-round mag. Okay. Well, great. Now I can conceal my rifle. My partner has an AK-74. AK SU-74. The super short AK-74 variant. Pistol variant. Because she's she's got huge tits. She can literally set it between her tits on a lanyard. And if she's wearing her niqab, burqa, if she's wearing her burqa or something else loose and flowing over her body, you can't tell. And I know because I've been there, I've done that. And every time now I see her wearing something loose and flowing, the first words out of my mouth is, "Do you have your gun?" And by the way, the answer usually is yes. She walks around downtown San Francisco like that. And people don't even know. They have no clue that an Afghan woman is walking around town with what they call an assault weapon. Semi-auto only, right? But they call it an assault weapon. And yeah, she could do a whole lot of damage real fast. That 20 round mag would make it impossible for her to do that. I don't know. Joe, you think you can tell me how this logic works? By all means, please. Do enlighten stupid old Carrie. I'd love to hear your observations. Okay. Coming up on minute 50. So, oops, no, wait. I'm going to leave that open for 5 or 6 minutes. There are reasons. Yeah, we're good here. I think I'm caught up. At the end of the day, for those of you that maybe are contemplating other options, by the way, a belt makes a great whip, but a whip will never ever make a good belt. Very important distinction there. All right, I'm not seeing a whole lot of questions in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast here. Remember, get home bag ready. 917 is coming one way or the other. It is coming. By the way, you might have noticed this seems to sit in pretty much the same spot. It does. Okay. I live walking distance from work. It's like 4 blocks. The only way I could be trapped at work, well, the only way I could be trapped at work is if I'm literally trapped inside the building. 99% of us in this world are not that fortunate. You need the bag. Get your get home bag ready because 917 is coming. Whether you believe it or not, it believes you. All right? In the meantime, keep calm and mandatory carry on.